I just wanted to come here and give y'all a quick message, man. While I'm out here, when I'm out here, man, I feel like God is speaking to me so hard and so strong. And the message I want to give to you guys today, man, is that God is greater. And I know you hear that a lot, but I really want you to meditate on that, pray upon that, man. Think about that. Get to a place where your peace is protected and really connect with God. Because a lot of times, man, by our actions, by our words, by really our beliefs, we operate in a manner as if this world is greater. We operate in a manner as if our problems are greater, as if people's opinions are greater, as if our struggle is greater, as if our losses are greater, as if our mental issues are greater. And I know those things aren't light things in your life, so I'm not undermining that, but I want you to know something. I want you to know God is greater than anything that you're going through, and you got to really believe that. I had to talk with a close friend of mine, and I had this talk with myself a few years ago. I always said I had strong faith in God. It's kind of like the story of Job in the Bible, man. I always said I had strong faith in God. But when I lost certain things in my life, I lost my faith, right? I lost my love. I lost my connection. And it made me realize something, man. My faith wasn't as strong as I thought. My words said a lot, but my true beliefs wasn't as strong as I thought. And I want you to think about that, man. If it takes losing something in your life for you to lose your relationship with God, then your relationship isn't strong. And that's what you got to connect with. That's what you got to build up. Because I'm going to tell you right now, man, problems are going to happen. Struggles going to happen. I don't care where you're at in life, how much money you make, how good your life is, how bad your life is that you may think it is. Problems are going to happen. And you got to have a foundation, man. Like, listen, storms are going to come. It's like having a house, right? You can't prevent storms necessarily. This is the world. Storms are going to come. Rain is going to come. Different seasons are going to come. Winter is going to come. All these things are going to come. But if you have a strong foundation, I live in Texas, and a lot of tornadoes come through and tear down a lot of houses, right? But if you have a strong foundation, and trust me, some of those houses have great foundations, but when your foundation is strong and it's built right, and it's sturdy, that storms may shake it, right? It may tarnish it just a little bit. But at the end of the day, that foundation is strong, so that building is still standing. And your life is the same thing, man. Storms will come, haters will come, losses will come. But guess what? Through it all, if your foundation is right, if your foundation is built upon that solid rock, then guess what? It doesn't matter what comes in your life because you're able to go back to that foundation. Does that mean that you won't get knocked down? No, it doesn't mean that. You will get knocked down in this life. You will want to give up. You will want to quit. You will go through times that you don't understand what God is doing in your life. But as long as you keep that foundation right in your life, guess what happens? You can still build your life, and God will take you to a place where you start to understand, wow, I had to go through all of this just to get here. I had to go through all these things just to prepare me. I mean, what's faith without test? That's not faith, right? You have to go through things. You have to experience things. And a lot of things, I get it. They suck. They're hard. They seem unfair. And sometimes they are unfair. Life is unfair. But at the end of the day, you have a foundation and a rock in God, a solid foundation that God will carry you through. God is greater than anything that you're going through. And you got to really believe that. You got to live that. So if you lose that relationship, you shouldn't lose yourself. Yes, it hurts to lose love. It hurts to lose somebody you love. But guess what? You shouldn't lose your relationship with God, period. Don't let the imperfections of people keep you from the perfection of God. Don't run away from God when times get hard. You need to be running towards him because at the end of the day, he's the one that's going to have your back. So many times we turn our back on God because things aren't going right. If you understood the plan that God has for your life, which is totally not understandable at a point, but once you keep living life, those plans start to unfold. The vision starts to unfold to you. Things start to get more clearly. The more you get in his word, the more you get around him, the more you spend time with him, the more you communicate with him, things start to come out more clearly in your life. And you realize that you had to go through those things, right, to build you for where you're at today. And sometimes God doesn't put us through, a lot of times God doesn't put us through a lot. Right? Sometimes a relationship, God didn't put us through that relationship. That relationship wasn't built on God. That relationship was built on emotion. That relationship was built on temptation. And we went into that relationship and it didn't work out and we blame God for that. Okay? So don't blame God for the situations that you put yourself in. Don't blame God because things are going wrong in your life. And if you feel like you're not connected to God, I can promise you this. It's like if I'm miles away from my best friend and I have no phone service and I'm miles away and I'm nowhere near close to him, I don't communicate with him or her, or whoever it may be, guess what? We're not going to have a connection because we don't communicate, right? In order to have a connection, you got to communicate. You want to hear God talking to you, get into his word. You want to hear God speak to your heart? Get in places of solitude where you can actually meditate, where you actually can think, where you actually can pray and get closer to him. And your relationship is your relationship. I'm not telling you how to build your relationship with God, because I'm going to tell you right now, this is where I get the best connection at. Straight up. This is my wife. God, right out here, Eagle Mountain Lake. I get the best connection. And this strengthens me. It recharges me. You know, you got to get a recharge in your life. You can't just run off the same battery, the same faith that was given to you by your grandparents or your mother, and you expect that faith to carry you through. You got to recharge your faith. You got to re-strengthen your faith. You got to grow your faith. And that's in every area of your life. It's like you put in a battery and you expect that battery to last forever. That battery's not going to last forever unless you recharge that battery. And sometimes you have to get new batteries, right? To make that thing or that whatever it is go and operate. And so I just want to encourage you guys, man. This is just a message of encouragement. Wherever you are in your life, do not give up. Do not throw in the towel, man. This is life. And I know you hear me say that a lot, but that's my message. That's what God put me on this earth to do, to encourage people with worth, to encourage people, to let you know that times do get better. Some of you guys are in a place where you're sick. You don't understand why you're sick. You're in a hospital. Things aren't fair. You know, cancer, all these things that are coming. But trust me, God has a bigger plan for you. Whatever that plan is. Whatever that plan is, maybe that plan is for you, for your life to strengthen other people's life. Maybe that plan is for you to reach out to other people. Maybe that plan is to fellowship. You know, I had a friend that passed away. Her name was Cherie. Even though she's not here no more, she inspired me so much with my life just because of what she was going through. She was dealing with a sickle cell battle, and Cherie was a person that you would never know anything was wrong with her. She was the type of person that she didn't want you to check up on her. She called to check up on you. You can't even get questions about how she's doing because she wanted to know how you were doing. And the reason I tell that story is because her faith was so strong that even in her struggle, even in her last moments on this earth, she still was encouraging people through her struggle. Her pain, and I want you guys to get this, man, but her pain became the strength for other people. Her pain became the strength for me, and she didn't even know it at that moment. She never got a chance to talk on my conference call. But she uplifted me and she encouraged me and everybody around her, not just me, with her life during our hardest moments, because her faith was so much bigger. She knew that she had a higher purpose than just on this earth. She knew she had a job here to encourage people, but she knew she had a higher purpose. And when you truly believe that, you're able to live life no matter what you're going through at your fullest potential. So don't let what you're going through break you. Let it shape you, let it mold you, and let it grow you. And there's a scripture in the Bible that says, seek the kingdom first. There's a reason why God tells us to seek the kingdom first, right? Seek the kingdom first. Seek him. Seek his face. Seek through prayer. Seek through meditation. Seek through fellowship. Seek through worship. All these things, because when you seek God first, you realize that God got you. A lot of times we seek drugs first, we seek sex first, we seek alcohol first, we seek people's opinions first, we seek everything in this world first, and it doesn't help us, right? It doesn't help us. It might give us a temporary fix, but we know about temporary things. Temporary things don't last forever, and we usually dig ourselves in a deeper ditch. But seek him first in everything that you do, because God has the peace that we all want, okay? I go through a lot in my life. I'm not a person that doesn't go through. I don't know the secret to not go through anything. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy who's going to tell you that. I go through a lot in my life, but I also have a lot of peace that floods my life because I'm able to seek God first, right? In my way, not how the pastor's telling me to seek. And those are great advice. I'm not going to tell you how to seek God in your way, right? How you speak to God, how you connect with God. Sometimes it's walking out here hiking, right? Sometimes it's meditation. Sometimes it's worship. Sometimes it's whatever. However you connect with God the most, connect with God, because it's hard to get communication. It's impossible to get communication where there's no connection, right? And where there's no connection, there's no power. So if you want the power of God to work in your life, connect with him more, communicate with him more. And I promise you, you will start to see the peace. You will look at life through a whole different perspective. I don't even look at life the same as I used to look at it 2, 3, 4, or 5 years ago. I look at life totally different. So when things happen to my friends, when things happen close around me, and I have a lot of things happening, not to my life. And man, I'm sorry I keep talking, but God's putting this on my heart. Because sometimes the enemy doesn't attack you. He attacks what's around you to slow you down. And I realize in my life right now, it's a lot of attacks on people around me, right? A lot of attacks on people around me. But I understand those people around me have strong faith, and I pour into those people, and I talk to those people, because we're going to get through it regardless. See, when the enemy can't get to you, he goes to attack what's around you to take your focus off of God, to rob your peace. All right, seek first the kingdom. All right, seek first the kingdom. Keep your peace intact. Protect your peace. Important to other people. All right, don't let these hard times get you down. Let these hard times build you. All right, without faith, without tests, without trials, without struggle, without problems, without losses, without all these things, there would be no point of faith. If everything was given to us, there would be no point of faith. If everything was perfect in our lives, there would be no point of faith. Understand that. So wherever you're at right now, take responsibility over your life. Stop letting that situation tear you down. Stop letting that situation control your life. Take responsibility over your life. Seek God. All right, protect your peace. Change your perspective. And just go be great. Peace. Love you guys.